Record. All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to tonight's team call. Tonight, unfortunately, Jenny's not with us because she's not feeling well, but I'm still here with you guys. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about goal planning for 2016. I know that you're probably thinking, like, we're not even through Christmas. Why are we doing this? But it's actually the perfect time because it's going to get your brain kicking into goal planning gear while you're going through the holidays. So today is actually the ideal time to start thinking about goal planning. So I'm going to share my screen. Can y'all see it? Are you still good? You can still see it? Yep. Okay, sweet. All right. So goal planning for 2016, best time to do this. Now, even though we're talking about 2016, that does not mean that the end of 2015 is not important. Actually, it's the opposite. Now is the time of year to really amp up your efforts to help other people, because this is when you're really going to get people to see that you have value to bring to the table through health and fitness and things like that. Because once January 1st hits, that's when people are thinking, oh, I should join a gym, or I should do all these things. And we want to give them the max amount of support possible by giving them all of that accountability. So now is the time that you're highly visual with your goals you're setting, the program that you're going to be doing, nutrition, clean eating, all of those things. Now is a time that people are going to be watching you. So even though we're talking about 2016, it is so important to end the last quarter of the year with zest, with enthusiasm, and making sure people see that even though it is the holidays, you're still taking steps towards your health, because that's when they're going to be blown away. I love it when I see posts of people saying like avoiding cake or cookies or things like that, like, nah, cookie, you don't have any power for me. Like little things like that. People are watching for that, and they are inspired by that. So that's my little thing. Don't give up through 2015, even though we're talking about 16. All right, did it change the slide for you guys? Yep, okay, sweet. Okay, so the most important part of goal planning is starting with gratitude. It's so easy to get caught up on what we didn't do in the past. Maybe we didn't hit a certain goal. Maybe we didn't come anywhere near it. I have quite a few goals that I hit for 2015, and I did not hit them. And I could sit here and say, I'm not going to goal plan. I'm not going to do that because it didn't work for me in the past. But in reality, having those goals that I was pushing towards is what built my business in a huge way. It helped me find direction. It helped me find purpose and passion because I was pushing for a goal. Even if I fell a little bit short of that goal, I still grew. I still built my business, and I still have found so much success, maybe in a different area. Maybe it doesn't look exactly the same as I thought it would, but starting with gratitude, I think anytime we work on goals, we have to get our heart in the right spot for this in order to set a goal that we feel deeply connected to. I mean, if you start out your goals and you're feeling frustrated with what you've already missed or things that didn't happen as far as your expectation, that is going to translate into the next year. And we're done with that, guys. Like whatever we didn't do, that's done. So we're moving upwards for the next year. So I also want to encourage you guys to challenge yourselves. We could be setting super easy goals right now, but that's not what we're going to do, because that's not where magic happens. Magic does not happen within the safety zone. You know how they have the image, it says like your comfort zone, and way outside of it, that's where magic happens. So when we set our goals, we like, say you have this goal pop into your mind, and you're like, I'm not even sure that's possible. Say like 5-star diamond by the end of the year. Is that possible? Is that something I can do? And I'm going to push back on that a little bit and say, what will happen in your business if you just miss it? If you just hit, and I'm going to use air quotes because I don't even believe that that's not enough, but you just hit 4-star diamonds. Is that like farther than you are right now at this moment? It totally is. But by by working towards that 5-star goal, that income goal, that's maybe you have this huge goal to change 200 lives in 2016. If you change 150 by aiming for 200, that is not a failure in any way. So my challenge to you is to set huge goals. I think the best way to achieve huge goals is to be curious. And when you see other people in your industry that are successful, or shoot, even sometimes not in your industry, I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs that are outside of Beachbody, and I love to ask them tips. I love to ask different things they do for their teams, because a lot of it translates really well into what we're doing if we just look at it with a little bit of a different perspective. So be curious and ask other successful people how it is that they're hitting these big goals. Maybe they'll have this little nugget that's just going to blow your mind, and you're like, oh, you know what? You just said that in a little bit of a different way that I've never heard before, and now that makes sense. So be curious. I love the word curious because we forget sometimes that it's okay to not know everything. We think we have to be educated on all things, and sometimes asking people for advice or for help is saying, I don't know enough. It feels like we're putting ourselves at a lower level than these other people, and it's not that. It is not that at all. The most successful people in history, if you even go through like people like Albert Einstein and Maya Angelou, these people were curious. They were always digging, always trying to find answers or inspiration everywhere. And so the most successful people are the curious ones. So don't be afraid of being curious ever. No matter the outcome, you will grow. And I know I already touched on that a little bit, but when we set goals, we put our eyes on a prize, and the prize is actually in the journey getting there. It's not so much in the actual achievement we have written down. So along that journey, absorb every experience, good and bad. I know you guys hear me talk about it a lot, but every time we have a stressor or a failure or something we feel didn't turn out just right, there's a lesson in that. And I feel like if we can find the lesson, then we're able to use that as an experience that lifts us higher. So no matter what, I want you guys to find the lessons in every step of the way, successes, failures, every bit of it. Oh, it's not letting me move forward. There. So now I'm going to do some woo-woo with you guys. Something Rachel Luna, my coach, has worked with me. So I'm going to ask you guys to close your eyes. And with this, even if you guys are catching the recording, I mean, I know I see you all, you guys on the call, and Jennifer's like opening her eyes behind her closed hands. But even if you're listening to the recording, do me a favor and close your eyes. At the end of 2016, I want to see you to visualize yourself successful. You're successful in your business. You're successful in your personal life. You are successful in all the goals you have set out for yourself. You walk tall with your shoulders held back. You have this grin on your face that is so hard to take off because you just feel like you have accomplished something that you feel in your soul you were destined to accomplish. You feel confident and you feel like you are on top of the world because of these goals. Now, okay, you guys can open your eyes, but did you feel empowered in that moment? Did you feel excited for what that moment could bring you? That's what we need to do going into our goals. And as you go through your goals and you write them out, as you create your vision board, all the stuff that we're going to talk about, through that process, I need you guys to close your eyes and feel it. I'm telling you, when I first wrote up my goals and I did not feel them, it was like this list. I'm like, okay, this is what coaches are supposed to do. This is the timeline they're supposed to do it. I felt completely disconnected from it. And there's no surprise that I did not hit them and I did not even genuinely work towards them. But this visualizing is key. It's so key to rocking a goal the whole way through. There's a huge tip that sounds so silly doing it. And if anyone caught you that said, what are you doing? You'd probably be like, oh, I'm resting. I'm resting my eyes. But it's fantastic. Okay. So why? So without a solid purpose, a why is a wish. I feel that so strongly. You know, we just visualized how that feels getting there, but why? What is this that is going to push you to do an extra 15 minutes of work when you really just want to go binge watch Scandal on Netflix? Like, what is it that is going to make you stay up later or push through a workout when you really don't know if you want to work out that day? I truly feel like workouts are a part of our work life. So then that makes me feel even stronger that I want to do that. So when you have a solid why, it helps propel you through those moments that you would have otherwise given up on? How will it change your life when you succeed? Who will it impact in your life, and what will that mean to you? These are all valid questions in order to create goals that are true to you. I mean, yeah, we have cookie cutter goals that we could all do that are normal for each stage of the coach game, but how does that impact you? And I say this because when I first started, I was pushing for a rank goal. And when I hit my rank goal, I mean, I hit it after a lot of zest. I'm the type of person that I go like all or nothing. I give it 100%. Well, I hit it, and then I like relaxed and I'm done. Like I did my work. Now I can go binge watch on Netflix and be done with it all. I didn't do my workouts. I wasn't eating right. And my business actually regressed to worse than it was before I started my push. And it's because I was focusing on something that wasn't true to my personality. I mean, you guys know we do the color code, and I'm a blue. And so I work from a place of, like, I'm a logical thinker, but I'm deeply rooted in the emotional side. And so when I take that emotional drive out of it, I can only sustain it so long. So it's important to find your why in your business. Why are you pushing for this? Why are you so passionate about hitting these goals? And I highly encourage you guys to write them out in a place where you can access them easily. When I'm going through a little bit of a struggle point, or I'm procrastinating, if I pull out my why and I read it over again, and by the way, a good why should make you cry. A good why should jerk those little emotion strings and hit home in a really deep way. And so when I read my why and I remember why it is I got started, and I also have a little file that is full of positive notes that people have sent me. You know, sometimes people will send you that message when you first wake up, and they said, I posted one in the group the other day. This girl said, no one cares. No one sends me messages. You're the only one that reaches out to see how I'm doing. And little ones like that, I take a screenshot and put it in the file. And when I'm feeling that funk come on, between reading my why statement and going into that love me file is what it's called, and seeing all of these like positive words come flooding towards me right when I need them, those pull me through it. So a solid why that fits your personality. There's no wrong thing. I don't mean to say that pushing for rank is a bad thing. It's totally not. Because when you can relate a rank to the positive emotional things, it all works out. For me, I just don't focus well on numbers, but if you do, that's totally cool. Okay, how? You guys know we talk about the how all the time in this business. Even the cover photo of our team page has an itemized list of all the how. But I'm just going to break it down really quick, because this business is actually incredibly simple. I mean, we talk about all the little nuts and bolts to it, but they all route back to these things. So the number one thing is consistency. Now, you guys that are on the National Wake Up Call, you hear every single one of the top coaches talk about consistency. Every day we show up. Every day we're posting to our social media, and every day we are working to make a difference in the lives of others. The absolute most successful coaches in this business are consistent. I mean, even when they're sick, they're posting on their social media and they're sharing that. Yeah, it's not sexy to talk about being sick, having a stomach virus and things like that, but it reminds your audience that you are a normal person, that you have real life happening. And that consistency matters. It matters so much. I know, because there was a time that I dropped off, and for a while afterwards, it was hard to build that back up. And I learned from that. And it was a great learning experience. Remember, I tell you guys, you always learn from it. I learned that I have to think seriously before taking a break like that, and how worth it is. Because you pay for it in the long run by people they don't see that you're consistent. They don't see that you're still working towards it. And these people that come to us are generally people that need a consistent, strong rock in their lives, and we have to show them that. So we do the 3 vital behaviors every day. Number 1 is product of the product. That means leading a healthy lifestyle, eating healthy, doing our workouts. And for me, this is why coaching is really important to me, because I've never been able to do something strictly for myself. That's just not where my love language is. But I can do a workout if I know that it's a business task that's going to inspire other people. I can eat a salad versus a cheeseburger if I know that it's going to positively impact someone else in the future. So product of the product, do your workouts, drink your Shakeology, eat healthy, all that. Second is personal development, and that is where we grow so much that change is contagious for the people that we help. You guys know we're far more than just fitness programs and clean eating. I mean, that's a huge bulk of it. I truly feel like we have this ability to help people love themselves by helping them overcome these barriers that they've put up for themselves. So doing the personal development and learning along the way is where we're going to have the most value to provide to the people we work with. And then next we have invite. And I wrote it down, coaching group or challenge groups, coaching, and free groups. We have so many different things that we can invite people to, but those three are the ones that propel your business the most. So those are the 3 vital behaviors. I know I kind of broke them down a little bit, but I just wanted to make sure I went into them again. Build solid relationships, don't sell. I'm not a salesperson. I'm not good at sales. When I had my photography business, that was actually my biggest downfall, is that when I was talking to people, I almost ended up talking them out of purchasing. So I actually printed out a pricing catalog and just handed it to them like, oh, here's the pricing, so I don't have to say it out loud. But with this business, I don't feel like I'm selling to people because we're building solid relationships. You know, the script that I've shared with you guys for how I talk to people that I'm working with, it asks a ton of questions. And I don't mention anything about the products until I have a suggestion to give. And by that point, I've learned everything about their needs. I know what injuries they have or what workouts types they hate or what their nutrition is doing. Because when I make that suggestion, it is coming from my heart. And I don't feel like I'm just saying, hey, get that 21-day fix. I'm literally telling them something that I feel would be the right fit for them. Also, for part of the how is believe in yourself. This business favors no one. It truly doesn't. There are so many people that make it to the top of the business and they're like, I have never been successful at anything. You see Lindsay Matway, who dropped out of high school. You know, she had so much going wrong for her. And then this is just what launched her into success. And it's because she found something that she's passionate about and she has a strong why. And next is bloom where you're planted. And I know I've had a little bit where I've talked about failure, and I don't mean to make anything sound negative. And if anything, I feel like failure is a really great place for us to show our value. This is an opportunity for us to learn so much about ourselves, about our why, and to become very much more passionate. I believe without failure, I would not be able to get to the point I am now. I don't think that things that we value are earned easily. I feel like for myself, when I have to fight for something, that's when I'm super proud of it. So bloom where you're planted, it's been my phrase for myself the last few months. We've had some challenges in this local area with my husband's work and things like that. And I keep reminding myself, instead of looking forward to the next stage or to the next thing that could take us out of that sucky situation, I really want to focus on blooming with the situation I'm given, because if I can bloom in amidst the struggle, then that is beautiful. I feel like that's beautiful. So that's what I want to encourage you guys towards, is don't look at failure as just another F word. It really, truly is a place to shine. Okay, so next is your action step. There are apps you can do. I downloaded this one, Jack Canfield's Success Vision Board. Gosh, that's hard to say. But so that one, you can upload a bunch of pictures, and I suggest going onto like Google and researching the different things that have come up in your goals and creating little images for them, or just pulling different images for them. This app is totally free, and you can drop all your different pictures in there. You can add little words to explain what they are. Also, Rana Collage, I really like. They have cute little bubbles that they can do on there and cute backgrounds too. There's also PicMonkey, which is slightly advanced because that's more of like a freeware of Photoshop that's online. But Jenny loves PicMonkey. I personally use Photoshop, but I have a photographer's background, so I can't expect everyone to be able to do that one. There is a PicMonkey tutorial on the Misfit Republic YouTube website. So if you wanted to go PicMonkey, you could go do that. We are going to have a reveal Zoom party on January 3rd. I believe it's the 3rd, but it could be the 10th. I was asking Jenny for clarification, but she's not feeling well. So if it's a 10th, I'll update you guys. But plan on it being the 3rd. We wanted to start the new year with a lot of zest and energy, and we wanted to give you guys time to create your dream boards to share with us. So get yours done, and then we get to have a little party while we all talk about our goals in the beginning of January. I think that's going to be really cool. So the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I know I'm chatting your ear off, is mindset. And you know, Jenny and I are really passionate about the mindset work that happens, because there again, it's our opportunity to help people that really struggle with it in a huge way. So one thing I've learned lately is from Todd Herman. He runs the 90-day year. It's like for entrepreneurs scheduling your year. He's amazing. Well, he was talking about ow versus wow. Now, I've always heard about mindset as fixed mindset versus open mindset. That's not it. But fixed mindset is the one where you are resistant to change. You hear all these things that you should do in your life to be open to change, but you just have a hard time overcoming that and releasing the control to allow it to happen. And then the open mindset is, hey, there's a new thing, let me try that. Hey, there's a new thing, let me try that, which is me. I can get a little distracted because I like to work on mindset so much. But Todd Herman took it a little bit further, because I know I have an open mindset. I know I'm always open to new things and trying new things and feedback, all that. But then he started talking about the ow versus wow mindset. Now, ow says, ugh, I have to go hit play on my workout. Ugh, I should probably have a salad instead of whatever delicious thing. Or like, if you're like me, I so badly want to have a cookie, but this carrot stick. So, so that's the ow mindset. The wow mindset says, I am so blessed to have the opportunity to do this. I'm so blessed to have a body that allows me to do my exercises. I'm so blessed by this abundance of food. And I'm so blessed to be able to take this journey of living healthy and inspire other people with it. It's a huge difference, guys. And when we are planning our goals and we start to feel that overwhelm of all the things we have to do in order to reach that goal, that's where we got to flip the switch and say, like, oh my gosh, I can do this. I'm literally in a business that people are making millions of dollars on and changing the lives of thousands of people. Like, oh my gosh, I get to do that. So I've been really mindful now as I start to stress out about different things. I think of that ow versus wow. And I mean, to live all the time in a wow mindset, wouldn't that be incredible, guys? Where you just get to feel that abundance in everything you do. I want that. So that's what I'm working towards. Another thing that I was reading in The Big Leap is the book that I've been reading. It's a lot about upper limit. But in the beginning, he talked about fear being like a tennis ball. So in our hand is a tennis ball and we're holding it, and the tennis ball represents the fear. And he says, the fear does not hold you. You are holding the fear. You choose if you want to grip it tightly or if you want to let it go. That's totally up to you. Now, of course, when we're talking fear, the steps leading up to that, you have to make sure it's not a real fear, like you're going to light your house on fire fear, or is it something that's imagined, that's made up out of fear of judgment and things like that. So he says, fear is like a tennis ball, and it is up to you if you want to grip it or if you want to let it go. And just like a tennis ball bounce, sometimes it bounces back into your hand and you have to visualize letting it go again. It's so cheesy, guys, but I love this. So sometimes I get stuck in that fear, and it's generally judgment from others or maybe relationships that are falling off that I'm afraid of what's going to happen. And then I picture that tennis ball, I picture letting it go, and I feel so much better. And this is even something that I have talked to my kids about, and I've taught them. And so my son got home from school the other day and he said, oh, this girl, she was holding a tennis ball at school today. And, you know, because we've talked about it, I know what he means. And he's like, but I could tell when she let it go because she was so much happier. It's so funny. So visualize the tennis ball when fear strikes you, especially when setting up your goals and you're thinking like, is this possible? Is this something I can do? Realize that sometimes we just got to jump. And as long as it fills your heart, as long as it fits into, you know, the morals that you have, into your choices that you make, as long as it honors you, go for it. Don't let fear be the thing that sets you back. Please don't. And lastly, I wanted to talk to you guys about positive affirmation. Here again is another one of those woo-woo things, but we all kind of know the different fears that pop up into our head, and Rachel Luna calls these negative automatic thoughts, or gnats. And so she talks about swatting the gnats away. So when we have a fear that pops up regularly, the important thing is to create positive affirmations around them to combat the gnat. So maybe it's, I talked about consistency. Maybe it's, I can't be consistent because of blah, 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 or I've never been consistent, so I can't do that. A positive affirmation would be, the daily steps are simple and I can do them. Like it's like a short little sentence that reminds yourself that you can do these things. So I love that. There are a few fears that pop up into my life that I have my positive affirmations going for it. Some of them might be like, nobody listens to me, nobody wants to join me, things like that. So I have my positive affirmations that I remind myself, people are watching me whether they respond or not, or just because they said no right now doesn't mean no forever. It's just sometimes it takes time. So there's, these little positive affirmations to keep on hand. It sounds cheesy, but I promise you guys it makes a huge difference. Okay, let me stop the screen share. All right, and then I'm going to